Did Arteta bottle it again, or did Pep simply outsmart him? Arsenal struck late to deny City after Guardiola set up a defensive wall at the Emirates. But was this Arteta's failure, or Pep's strategy paying off? The numbers tell a fascinating story, and they might surprise you. Let's dive into the stats. Welcome to Money and Sports. This channel provides in-depth analysis of game statistics, team dynamics, and player performances. Viewers can access comprehensive information regarding players and teams. Our objective is to deliver analytical coverage of key Premier League matches following each weekend. At the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal played host to Manchester City in a clash that looked set to test both teams' credentials in the early Premier League title race. City took the lead early through Erling Haaland, catching Arsenal on transition. But Arsenal, under Mikel Arteta, dominated large parts of the match, especially after halftime, pressing, owning the ball, and creating chances. In the 93rd minute, substitute Gabriel Martinelli lobbed Donnarumma to snatch a dramatic equalizer, giving Arsenal a 1-1 draw. Before analyzing the numbers, let's give a quick highlights of key match events. In the 9th minute, Erling Haaland put City ahead, finishing a swift counterattack sparked by Tijani Reinders. At halftime, Mikel Arteta turned to Bukayo Saka and Eberechi Eze to inject greater urgency into Arsenal's attack. The changes swung the momentum. In the second half, Arsenal dominated possession and heaped pressure on City, who dropped deep and often shifted into a 5-4-1 position to withstand the onslaught. Then, in the 93rd minute, substitute Gabriel Martinelli struck the decisive blow, latching onto Eze's lofted pass and lobbing the keeper to snatch a dramatic equalizer. What did the numbers say about the overall performance of both teams? Arsenal clearly had the lion's share of the ball, far more attacking pressure, reflected in corners and shot attempts. City, by contrast, were disciplined, compact, and efficient with what they had. After City struck in the 9th minute, they dropped deep and ceded control, allowing Arsenal to dominate possession with 67% to City's 33%. The Gunners registered 791 touches compared to City's 505, and pressed high with 39 touches inside the opposition box versus City's 8 in Arsenal's area. Despite Arsenal's territorial dominance, the expected goals were nearly identical, 0.96 for Arsenal and 0.89 for City. Which team's attacking front line was more effective? Arsenal's attack came alive in the second half, with Gabriel Martinelli making the decisive impact off the bench by scoring a clever late lob, while Eberechi Eze's introduction added creativity and vision, highlighted by his long through ball that set up the equalizer. Despite dominating possession, Arsenal's forwards struggled to create clear chances until stoppage time. In contrast, Manchester City's attack was sharp early on, as Erling Haaland clinically finished a counter to put them ahead. But their overall output was limited, relying mostly on transitional moments and sacrificing attacking volume in favor of defensive solidity. Arsenal registered 12 attempts on goal, more than double City's 5. Yet both sides managed just 3 shots on target, with each goalkeeper making 2 saves and conceding once. Arsenal had 6 shots off target and finishing with a goal conversion rate of just 8%, while City, with only 2 misses, proved more clinical with a 20% conversion rate. Which team controlled the midfield? Arsenal's midfield trio of Rice, Zubamendi, and Merino controlled possession well, recycling the ball effectively, forcing City back, and winning second balls, though they initially lacked creativity until Eze's halftime introduction added much-needed cutting edge. In contrast, City's midfield, anchored by Rodri, focused primarily on defensive duties, sitting deep in a compact low block, especially in the second half, but offered little creativity, rarely dictating play or unsettling Arsenal beyond the early stages. Arsenal attempted 582 passes, completing them at an impressive 89% accuracy. The majority were short passes, 529, while they played 53 long balls, with a 62% success rate on those longer attempts. In contrast, Manchester City attempted just 296 passes with a lower completion rate of 76%. Of these, 248 were short passes and 48 were long balls. But City managed to complete only 40% of their long passes. Did the numbers reflect City's defensive performance? Arsenal's defense was generally solid but vulnerable early on as Haaland's counterattack exposed their shape, though they recovered well and stayed resilient despite City's sporadic breaks. By contrast, City's backline delivered the more disciplined display, holding firm despite conceding most of the possession, with Donnarumma impressing under pressure. Arsenal's late equalizer came not from a structural lapse, but from a lofted ball over the top. City spent long spells camped inside their own 18-yard box, with their defensive workload reflected in the numbers. They registered 61 clearances, more than 3 times Arsenal's 18. In other defensive areas, the two sides were closely matched. Both recorded 5 interceptions, while Arsenal made 13 tackles with 8 successful, compared to City's 10 tackles with 7 won. What are the key takeaways from this analysis? Arsenal's 1-1 draw with Manchester City was a game they largely controlled, dominating possession, corners, and territory, but only found their equalizer in stoppage time after City's early counterattack. The performance highlighted Arsenal's growing maturity, resilience, and impact from substitutes, though sharper finishing is still needed. For City, it was a rare Guardiola side built on deep defending and discipline, showing efficiency and tactical flexibility despite limited attacking chances. In the title race, both teams left with points dropped, but valuable lessons gained. So, my fellow football fans, what do you think about the game? What do you think about Arteta's timid strategy? What are your opinions about this analysis of the numbers behind the game? Did we miss anything or got anything wrong? Let us know in the comments. Please subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell so you will be notified when the next analysis drops.